numbers fall. His high number mark is around 41%. If he falls even 10% of the general electorate, he's dooming the Republican Party probably losing the House.
Can you believe the House is in play?
If he falls to 35%, that would be the lower end of the Republican base. 35%. That's the magic number to watch for. The one initial poll I saw today had him at 38, but that was a partial poll taken part before, part after this. Mm-hmm. That's right in the upper edge of the Republican base range. So, but if he starts falling below 35, that means he's losing Republican base voters, not necessarily Trump supporters, but Republican base voters.
Right, he was already losing them. He was losing the women that Romney got in 2012. He was losing them already before this tape came out. So you have to wonder if there's going to be how many.
I really don't think that this. I think this debate could only make things worse for him.
That's true. If anyone has a lot to lose going into this, he does.
Clinton has nothing to lose here. Everyone's going, oh, Trump has nothing to lose. He's already losing. Actually, all the pressure's on Trump. Right. He's the one trying to save his campaign. Hillary Clinton has...
He's on defense.
Hillary Clinton has nothing to lose. All she has to do is deliver a solid performance where she looks presidential, keeps appealing, because her upside growth in the polling, she probably has room with some constituencies like African Americans and especially millennial voters to grow another 10% before Election Day. And if she does that, she'll start hitting Obama-level numbers, which means instead of a 6-point lead, she'll have like a 10-point lead, and this thing will be over.
And you know what's interesting, though, that they never talk about, the pundits never seem to talk about this. I noticed with Democratic voters, and this seems to happen in during Obama years, the press always says they're depressed, they're not going to turn out this year, and they do seem depressed off and on certainly during 2012. But then massive turnouts for Obama, and we always saw the support for Obama, certainly on the ground. And same thing with Clinton. I mean, what you don't see reported is, and we were at her opening...
her relaunch
rally in New York, there were so many, and there are a lot of young people there. Everybody was just hyped up. There were huge lines.
Young women.
Yeah, young women. Well, they were all, I mean, just everyone. It seemed like,
You could really see the gender gap. Now that I remember that rally, you could really see the gender gap, though. Trump events are prominently white men. I mean, white men and older white women. The Clinton event, you're right, it was more diverse, but it was still like there was a bedrock of female support, which is the base of the Democratic Party now. This isn't exclusive to Clinton. This is the majority of the Democratic Party who were enthused and solid for Clinton. And that's one thing. Bernie Sanders, everyone went, oh, Bernie was never able to get the African-American vote. Well, a bigger problem was Bernie was never able to substantially cut in to Hillary Clinton's support with female voters. And female voters are the majority of the party. They are the base of the party. If you don't get those voters, you don't win. And in the general election, Hillary Clinton, I keep pointing this out, but Hillary Clinton's margin in state after state is almost directly equal to the margin in the gender gap. If Trump has a 5-point lead with men and Clinton has a 10-point lead with women, Clinton usually leads the state by 5. Mm-hmm. It's proportional.
Isn't that sad, though? In a way? I mean, she's such a qualified candidate. And I think part of it is is Republican Democrat, as you've already pointed out. But it is sad still because it kind of gives fire to people who claim people are voting for her because she's a woman. In fact, that's not why. Just the same thing as when people said, "Oh, you're voting for Obama to black people because he's black." When in fact, no, they didn't vote for. They don't want Ben Carson. It's about who the candidate is and what they represent, and people trust that person. And everyone has known Hillary Clinton for a long time. I know some liberals have had issues with her, but when you really get away from all of the damage that's been done to her reputation by Citizens United, and she has been their number one enemy, and I think people forget that. They have been throwing money to smear the Clintons for 20 years. I mean, it has been 25 years. It's been a long time. And now it's all this dark money. That's what's been fueling a lot of this whole, oh, she's not trusted. When you look at her record and what she stands for, I don't know her personally. I'm not vouching for that. I'm vouching for the person she has always been as a public servant. And that person has always cared about the people. And she has been in there fighting for them. And there isn't anyone that has that record.
I really don't think you're going to see much of the talk that Clinton won because she was a woman. I think The choice between Trump and Clinton is so stark now. I think Donald Trump is going to be completely thrown under the bus by the Republican Party. And the Republican excuse is going to be, if we would have picked anybody but Trump, we would have won.
Oh, exactly.
You're already hearing this.
Oh, I know.
You're already hearing, in 08 and 12, it was, oh no. It was, oh no, Barack Obama won because we lost because of all the African-American vote. The African-American turnout was so high. Well, in this case, Clinton is going to dominate in so many areas if these numbers hold. Their go-to is going to be...
Wait a minute. I know what you're going to say. This kills me. We went through this in 2012. They had a post-mortem. They were told what they needed to do. What did they spend the next 4 years doing? The exact opposite. And then they built... Now, they act like Trump has nothing to do with them, but in fact... And you see the House Republicans haven't distanced themselves from him yet. They're having a meeting Monday morning to decide, and you know that's going to be based on how this debate goes. If they see a shred of hope, they will hang in with the man who said Hillary Clinton might be assassinated if she got elected, the man who's attacked the Khan family, attacked Mexicans, attacked every... African Americans. He's attacked every minority, they're babies. He even attacked a baby. There is no one who is left.
He kicked a baby out of his rally.
He kicked a baby out of his rally. This is a man that this is who they built, though. They built this by doing nothing and appeasing to extremism in the House. And I'm not saying it's just the House Republicans, but they are the worst. We have a few senators that are that bad, but it's, the House is littered with these people because of their gerrymandered districts. And so they built this. This is who the party is. They can't divorce themselves from this. They can blame Donald Trump, and they will. They will. It's all going to be Donald Trump's fault. And
I think it'll start before Election Day, actually.
They're already starting it. I mean, you heard who was behind this whole thing? These leaks? The Republican Party.
Yeah, the word is the Republican Party was pushing a lot of this stuff out.
They want to get rid of him. Why didn't they know when they had Sarah Palin on the ticket in 2008? Why didn't they know when, over and over again, their party was taking the country over the fiscal cliff and refusing to even fund government and spending all this money on Benghazi and emails? So I think those things should have been a clue. And it is amazing to me. Someone tweeted this to me, and it was a really good point, that, here we say we can't talk about these rape charges against, I have been saying this, against Donald Trump, the girl who was 13 at the time, because it's not in evidence yet. There's a case.
There's no criminal investigation. There's
right.
Just a civil
it's
complaint.
It's not something I would bring up because it hasn't been, there's no evidence to put into play here to talk about. And what Republicans are doing is just taking rumors. We don't want, Democrats do not need to become that, and you certainly don't need to do that.
And there's enough out there that you really don't need to go that route.
Garbage on Donald Trump. We could go through his tax returns if we ever had them.
Criminal.
Right, we could go through his stuff for the next 20 years and we wouldn't be done.
So there's no point in going there. Stuff.
But the point is, and they have a point, the point is, why was it okay for the media to report on all of these email things that weren't even real? The evidence wasn't in yet. And when the evidence came in, she was cleared. I mean, it is a good point.
Because there was evidence at that time. There was actual physical things out there that were examined and available to look at for more than a year.
Well, they were leaked, though, by Republicans.
But there was still something physically out there. If you're a journalist and you want to...
That's a good
That's
point.
A difference. Right now, it's just somebody in a civil case saying something.
Oh, no.
Tomorrow, somebody could file a case against you claiming anything.
Right. Well, no, people do that too. And that's what I originally, when I saw this, I thought this is an old Republican tactic, too, to get people to fall down that rabbit hole so they can prove that's not true. Well, meanwhile, you're ignoring his tax returns.
You're ignoring it's a distraction issue.
Trump University and everything else he's done. So, that's a really good point. But we didn't really hear that she was cleared. I mean, that went through, but it isn't because
that's not a story.
Right.
Somebody getting cleared of doing something wrong is never as interesting as a story. It never generates revenue. It never generates clicks or eyeballs as somebody potentially doing something wrong.
You are correct, but I'm going to say that, and you and I have this discussion a lot, you see this happen more with Democrats. The press is more willing to go along with Republican investigations and accusations than they are with Democrats.
Republicans are better at packaging these things.
Yeah. Oh, they make them like their little bumper stickers.
Delicious, delectable little treats that are easy work.
And Citizens United has been paying to feed these little tidbits to the press. They have all like press report. They have a whole like story written up.
Honestly, Democrats just aren't as good at it as Republicans.
They aren't as good at it, and they don't have the money. They don't have the corporate financing behind it to do that. So a lot of times when, a lot of times when people wonder why this is the case, you have to always look at the money. And with Clinton, as with Obama, and Clinton is more of an insider than Obama, but there's a lot of money that was thrown at both of them, and they simply do not have that money to fight back with. And Democrats don't have this. Republicans like to say unions and the teachers.
They don't have the billionaires.
They don't have them. I mean, they like to say, oh, you have the unions, the union thugs. The union thugs. And I'm in a union, and I don't believe union members are thugs. They certainly don't have the money.
You're a thug.
I'm a thug. Thug Sarah right here. Okay, so on that happy little note,
actually, one last point about the unions and the money. I believe unions are somewhere between 8th and 12th, or 12th on the list of political donations.
Do you really need to point out that was a lie? It's just another Republican talking point. We should have a little asterisk that this is a lie, this is a lie, this is a lie.
I know, I was backing up your point that Democrats just don't have the deep pockets.
Yeah, but that's what they always say, oh, you guys have unions, that's equal to all these billionaires.
No.
Who are throwing money at the Republican Party. They are the only thing keeping them afloat.
Yeah.
So
the billionaires are the Republican Party.
We are eagerly awaiting Hillary Clinton kicking some
orange Cheeto ass.
Yeah. Oh, I can't believe you said that. You're not supposed to. I don't think you're supposed to say that. All right. Well, anyway, we're gonna excuse us for that.
Trump has said worse.
That's true. See, that's what's happening in this country. All over.
Lowering the bar.
Everyone is lowering the bar. We are gonna Hillary Clinton standing up for Americans, standing up for what's right, and she's going to kick some Trump behind. It's going to be fun to watch, and I look forward to hearing from everyone and hearing your feedback on it. Take care, and we will talk to you soon.